What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting they're possibilities for you to consider, in which you can then come up with your own logical conclusions.
Thomas? You seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams. Am I crazy?
We don't use that word in here.
Have we met?
One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. And if you go chasing rabbits and you know you're going to fall, tell 'em a hookah smoking caterpillar has given you the call. Call Alice when she was just small. When men on the chessboard get up and tell you where to go, and you've just had some kind of mushroom and your mind is moving low, go ask Alice, I think she'll know. When logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead, and the white line is talking backwards, and the red queen's off her head, remember what the Dormouse said. Feed your head, feed your
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
And a very mighty and grand welcome to all the fellow decoders out there around the world. Wherever you are, my name is Logan, and this is Decode Your Reality, and today we're going to be breaking down and decoding the latest Matrix movie, which I have titled The White Rabbit Resurrections. The very reason why I have chosen that title is because of the beginning, the intro of this presentation, where the trailer of The Matrix Part 4, Resurrections, utilized or used Jefferson Starship with their song called White Rabbit, or Jefferson Airplane. They're both the same. I think it's Jefferson Airplane, but it ended up going to Jefferson Star. I don't know why I said Jefferson Starship, but Jefferson Airplane came out with a song in 1967 called White Rabbit. They used that for the trailer, which I mixed in. I kind of created my own little trailer, and I've decided to blend them together because this is exactly what is going on. It is chasing the rabbit into time. It is coming down here, becoming man, becoming woman, being part of the Matrix, which is what we're all playing out. So let's jump in, get started. As I always recommend, throw on a pair of headphones, block out the outside world, really get immersed in this presentation. I'm about to show you some stuff that it was absolutely just earth-shattering to me. So let's break this down, shall we? Let's get into the topics of conversation for this presentation. In the 0 position, we have the intro, which, the trailer of The Matrix, which is kind of I made my own. And what we're doing now is the intro. Number 1, we're going to be talking about Alice. Alice has everything to do with Neo. Number 2, chasing that rabbit. Follow that white rabbit down into time. Topic number 2. Number 3, of course, The Matrix. We're going to be breaking down that a little bit. Number 4 is going to be the most abundant topic, which is going to be Neo and Trinity. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, I'm going to be talking a little bit about it. I'm not going to spoil some of it for you, but you definitely might not want to watch this presentation. But this movie was completely centered around Neo and Trinity. That was the entire movie that I saw anyway. Number 5, sunglasses. And of course, number 6, always love to hear what you see during these presentations. So here we go. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the first topic called Alice. Alice. And this is the lady right here to your far right. She is the lady who wrote the song White Rabbit, Grace Slick. Her actual birth name was Grace Barnett Wing. And right off the bat, the comedy starts. Her name in numerology is a 52, matching that. And then just think about what I'm showing you here. Her singing about Alice shrinking down and coming into time following that white rabbit, talking to the caterpillar. But isn't this comical right here? Just right off the bat. And we're going to be getting a little bit more into this, but man, it's comical to me, right? So just let me narrate this for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is important. This is just to show you again how clear this reality is when I say it's scripted completely. When I say completely, is everything scripted? Well, I can't say for certain, but this reality scripted for sure. Just at what degree, who knows? But notice just her first name, Grace. Just our first name, Grace, is a number 14, which is a direct match to the word time, to the word God, to the word Satan. They're all 14s. And of course, pi is 3.14, going down into time. The alchemology, which is the blending of numerology and alchemy. Those of you that are new, I've coined it alchemology, taking the numbers of the respected letters of any name or title and then bringing it into alchemy and then adding those up, and you getting an outcome and providing another expression of this reality that we all observe. Look at the comedy again going down into the calculator here, the trusty calculator. Look at what we get from Grace. The 30.052, there's the prison planet again on the backside, but the 30 in front of the decimal tells it all, because here we bring in another layer that has nothing to do with this movie, The Matrix, has nothing to do with Jefferson Airplane, has nothing to do with Grace Slick, but yet her birthday, she was born on the 30th. This rabbit, the creators of this card set, the medicine deck, I'm hoping a lot of you are the fans of that now doing your totem polls. This came out in 1988. Jamie Sains and a few others came out with this deck. Do you think they were sitting down and, we got to match up the rabbit card to Grace Slick's birthday because she wrote White Rabbit in 1967? Do you know how ludicrous I sound when I say that? So at what point are you going to draw the line and kind of realize that this reality is scripted and mankind is being used to write the script? I know I sound like a broken record. I've been saying that over and over, but how else are we to describe what I'm showing here to all of you? The rabbit card, 30. And then Alice being 30. And her birthday being on the 30th. How else are we supposed to describe what you're seeing here? And then look how detailed this is. Bringing these very detailed layers, numerology and alchemy together, and getting that 30 and the prison planet on the back end, matching her full birth name, the 52. What would the odds be? Let's keep going. Let's go ahead and do her full name alchemology, breaking down all the letters of her name. Here it is, right in the center, the trusty calculator, and you can fact check this. I would encourage you to do so. Her total outcome for her full name alchemology is, and you all should be doing this for your names, it's 110.141. Look at what's on the back end, the freaking pi. It's 3.141. It's pi going down into the hole. So we have the hole, the rabbit hole, following the rabbit into time. This lady sang the song called White Rabbit with Jefferson Airplane, 1967. And her, on the masculine side, it's the 110. Where's the 110 appear in the string of pi? Well, of course, the number 13. And then we go right back to the word Alice being 13 in the Chaldean. How about that? I mean, folks, when do we draw the line here? When we bring all these layers together. This is not a construct of mankind. Mankind is simply playing out their parts. We're all like little actors and actresses on the stage. It's all theater. She was supposed to sing this song. The Matrix, the part 4, Resurrections, was supposed to use it for their intro in the trailer. I'm going to be breaking that down. All these characters and players are exactly doing what they need to be doing, supposed to be doing, following their script. This lady was not sitting down with these layers beforehand, before she wrote this song, White Rabbit, knowing all these layers. I can assure you that. She was a musician. Straight up. How about Jessica Henwick from the movie Matrix Resurrections? I right off the bat, I was laughing with this. She was born on August 30th. There it is again. So obviously 30 tied to the 113. Tied to going down in the hole. We all know that now. 30 is going down into the hole. 3.1, 30, it's tied together. Her being born on August 30th, there's that rabbit card again. And her name, her character name, was Bugs. Remember, Bugs Bunny, the preliminary release of Bugs Bunny was April 30th. Perhaps they were fans, the Wachowskis, they were fans of Bugs Bunny coming down into the loony bin, Looney Tunes. Because that's exactly what's going on. So we bring more layers into it. How about straight up alchemy and Alice being 30 and the element zinc? Notice the letter Z, Oz, the last letter in the English alphabet, 26 and 52. If you follow the Francis Bacon capital letter Z's 52, prison planet. But there's the connection right there. The number 30 appears at the 64th and 65th decimal digits of pi. There's that 65 right in the average weight of zinc, one of the essential elements that we all need in our bodies to function properly. And it's an 1111 if we reduce it down. So again, more layers just to show you how ridiculously scripted this code is. You just got to have fun with it. That's what I do now. I just have fun with it. I laugh. I rejoice, and because it's just funny. And you can let go, and there's not as much pressure. You just like let the code design you. Let the code pull you the way it's supposed to be pulling you. So these cards came out in 1988. This deck, the medicine cards, and we're talking about time travel. I mean, notice that 39 protons for yttrium and having an atomic weight of 88. Look at what year Grace was born in. 1939. I mean, do you think that's coincidental? Do you think this is just by accident? And then, the comedy continues. Matrix and the word 30 both equal the number 17. I'm going to be showing more words that link to that number 17 using just the Chaldean. Just the Chaldean. So obviously in the first series of the Matrix, this was what was on his computer screen. He answers the door. The people show up. He follows the white rabbit, the tattoo, the whole 9 yards. And what's really interesting, what is the white rabbit? We're going to be getting to that. But notice, Grace, going back to her birthday again, she was born on October 30th. October 30th is the sign Scorpio. Notice that it's 303 days of the year. It's the 303rd day of the year. This lady was born on the 303rd day of the year, the 33. She sang a song called White Rabbit. There's the 33. Just drop that 0. What do you think the odds would be? And, white is 21, rabbit is 12. That's the 33. Obviously the outcome, but it's a mirror of one another. And if you've been paying attention, U is 21, which is uranium, and 12 is tied to lead, magnesium. And this is exactly what we're talking about. You see, Scorpio, the tail of Scorpio is our tailbone. So Scorpio is our spinal cords. And the majority of us have 33 vertebrae. Some have 34, but the majority of us have 33, and there it is. 33 is Scorpio following that spinal cord, coming down and becoming man. It's the soul entering, or the spirit entering man and becoming an avatar. The white rabbit. We become the white rabbit essentially because we follow that down into time. So let's get into the second topic now that we've been broken down Alice and a little bit of the rabbit. Let's actually get into the rabbit itself and discuss exactly what it means and how it ties into this movie, The Matrix. And in the beginning of this presentation, I had a little trailer that I kind of put together and I had fun with it. And there was a big piece of Disney. I think this was 1951, but this was a screenshot of the rabbit running around. And obviously the time on the clock is very, very important. I'm going to show you how it's tied right into this movie, The Matrix. And does this mean Disney is in a big conspiracy with the Wachowskis? That 12 and 5 is going to show up. When you break it down using alchemy, you get magnesium and you get boron. And when you add these two up using the trusty calculator, you get the number 35.115. Right off that clock that the rabbit's carrying, and right off the bat, there's the connection. The ridiculous, comical, completely laughable code. This dude's birthday, September 2nd, 1964, is this card right here, the 9 diamonds card. And guess what card number it is? 30 freaking 5. It's the 35th card in the deck. So again, when do we start to draw the line here? When you have completely separate movie, 1951, Matrix, the first one came out in 1999. So when do you draw the line to say, well, okay, yeah, this reality has to be scripted? Man's not scripting it. It's just not possible this way to claim that. So the White Rabbit, the song by Jefferson Airplane, came out in 1967. Notice that Keanu Reeves has a total numerology of 67. Remember that 67 and 19 are tied together because 67 is the 19th prime number. Think about what I'm saying to you now. 67 is the 19th prime number. Let me just go there and show you that. 67 is the 19th prime number, 1967. And this guy's got a numerology outcome of 67. Wait till I show you his alchemology. I'm going to put your jaw on the floor. 67. And of course, this came out on June 24th. And there's the 24 with the clock, 12, the magnesium. Tied to Lucifer, tied to the hangman, tied to the Christ, all tied together. And I thought this was really interesting. I just found this last night, finishing up this presentation. June 24th, the day that this album came out, this single came out, not June 24th, it's the 175th day of the year, and it's in the zodiac sign Cancer. And of course, Cancer is ruled by the frickin' moon. Now, did Jefferson Airplane and the producers of this song, did they know that? Is that why they released it on June 24th? It would make sense they would probably know that, but you can see the code because there's the White Rabbit and the moon. The 175, there it is in this element, number 71. It's called lutetium, Lucifer's element. It's got an atomic weight of 174 by average, which is Lucifer's numbers according to Manly P. Hall, but it has several atomic weights, and one of them is 175. And there's the match to June 24th. Tied to Cancer, which is ruled by the moon, and there's the rabbit following into time. And I thought this was really interesting because, of course, Cancer's symbol is the yin yang. There it is, the 69. And one of the episodes of the hit show called Lucifer on Netflix. He goes to an auction. I think it's in season 4. And of course, he's holding up that number. Now, again, what are the odds? Do you think these people know what they're doing, putting this stuff out there? I think some people are becoming conscious of it, absolutely. Or is it just all tied together, and once you catch on, everything kind of just falls into place? But I thought this was really interesting. I was really kind of blown away with this right here, finding this. And then, of course, you know, Neo's name is Thomas A. Anderson. Thomas. What is his name in the movie or the show Netflix? His birth name. What's his birth name? Thomas John Ellis. Accident? Coincidence? Or by planned operation? Thomas John Ellis. Thomas A. Anderson. Thomas A. Anderson's 57, tied to the element nickel. Lucifer's 28. Nickel's got 28 protons. Antimony's 28 in numerology, and the 51st element, antimony, is the all-seeing eye. You can just make the connections and see how ridiculous this code is and how scripted it is. It's just so scripted. I mean, Anderson's 32. 32 degrees is when water turns from a liquid to a solid, telling you when you go from 33 to 32, you change states. Going down the hole into reality, becoming a physical vessel. 32. It was all over Groundhog Day, if you've seen that movie. And then, of course, it's a direct match, which is hilarious. Why it's funny, man. Because the Truman Show is 57. Stairway to Heaven, the song by Led Zeppelin, that is 57. All using the Chaldean, by the way, not even trying to deviate away from there. Thomas A. Anderson, 57. The Truman Show, 57. Stairway to Heaven, 57. 57's all over Back to the Future if you look for it. The movie Back to the Future. Folks, it's just all telling you. And if you saw this movie, if you've seen, I watched it, and the whole movie was all about just redoing it all over again. And what they're telling you is you never get out. You just change characters or come back again. That's it. You don't get out. You don't get out. You just maybe level up, go to a different layer. That's what they're saying. Not saying it's true. But if you go watch the movie, they're going to tell you, you're in here and that's it. So level up. And last but not least, how about this sync for how crazy and funny this code is, man. This lady right here, Catherine, I showed this in another decode, but Catherine Beaumont was the voice. Think about what I'm showing you now. She was the voice that Disney used for Alice in Wonderland. She was the voice of Alice. Her birthday was June 27th. Her birth card is the 3 Clubs card. Guess who also has the 3 Clubs card as his birth card? That's right, the actor chosen to play Lucifer on the Netflix show, Thomas John Ellis. His birthday is November 17th. It's the 3 Clubs card. Just so we can be really transparent, here is November, and we go down to the 17th. There it is. It's the 3 Clubs card. And then Catherine Beaumont was June 27th. Here's June coming all the way down, and here's the 27th right there. There's row 27. There's the 27, 3 Clubs card. So, folks, when do we draw the line here to see that this code's using mankind? It's using man and woman. She has nothing to do with any conspiracy trying to pull the woolly over your eyes. She's not trying to mock you. She's not part of any secret society trying to trying to keep things secret from you. She was a voice for Alice in Wonderland. But yet it's tied to the Matrix. It's tied to Thomas. It's tied to Lucifer. It's tied to Keanu Reeves. I'm going to show you more. I'm just getting warmed up. But of course, it's the 16th card, and the 16th card is tied to this word called hell in numerology, which is what he rules over, which is what we're all in, folks. You're in hell. You're in the Matrix. That's hell. You got to make heaven out of it. Even Lucifer is not Lucifer in the Old Testament. It's actually called Halil, but it's actually 4 letters, Hyll, which is hell. That's exactly what it is. Go look it up. It'll tell you Isaiah 14 verses 12, it's Hyll in the original Aramaic spelling. And then how about this show right here on Netflix as well? Alice in Borderland. This right here, there's the card they're showing, telling you, then they said, this is the game master. The 3 clubs. This has a game master. 3 clubs. 3 clubs. The game master. Alice, part of the game. She got the same freaking birthday card as this dude. Has nothing to do with Lucifer. Has everything to do with it. Even Squid Game I showed, the main character for Squid Game, 3 clubs card. It's all telling you the same story, folks. We're in a game. We're being used to play the game. I don't know how much control we have, but it's exactly what all this is telling all of us. And the joke is on us. You got to wake up and realize it's just a big joke. It's just a big show. We're in a movie, and it's not real. Westworld did a great job of telling that. So let's get into the topic called the Matrix, because of course this is what we're decoding, right? Matrix, resurrections. Think about the word resurrections. It ain't going away. It just starts over again. Repeat, restart, recycle, redo, reset. It's all part of the Matrix. And I mean, how fitting that Neo is a 17 and it directly matches using just the Chaldean, again, matrix and life. That's exactly, because we create the matrix. We human beings do. You have nature, that expression of this reality, and then you have a layer on top of that called the matrix. We create that through our thoughts, through our actions, through our emotions. Right there, they're all 17s. I got more to show you than that. So is the matrix just a hive mind? Is that just what it is? Look at the connections. It's not just the 31, both of them, but it's a 14 and a 17. 14 and 17. And this word "the" is huge because we attach this to so many nouns. The house, the matrix, the car, the woman, the man, the horse, the turtle. It's all, think about when you use "the." What are you doing with that magic spell you're speaking? And of course, 31's tied to the number 50 in the string of pi, and God we trust is 50. So we're creating this hive mind. It's a hive mind. All of us, we're creating this matrix, and then it just gets ripped apart and starts over again. It's exactly what this whole matrix resurrection, it's what it's telling you. So this was a pretty big find for me, going to this 17th element on the periodic table, tied to the numerology of the matrix and life and Neo, of course. And here was this element chlorine. And chlorine has several atomic weights you can measure in a laboratory. 2 of them is 33 and 34, and that's how many vertebrae. We either have 33 or 34 vertebrae. Most people have 33, some people have 34, but there it is. It's right there in that same element, number 17, tied to the matrix, tied to life. That's exactly what we all enter into, is that avatar to play the game of life. So do we spend a lifetime in the matrix? Life and time. And again, hive mind. 1714, 1714, 1714. Do we spend a lifetime in this matrix? Do we never get out? Even the word chlorine, the element that I showed with the vertebrae, 33 and 34 is 31. 31, 31. Same cipher. Powerful. Telling you this, perhaps the story of exactly the way this reality works. So, of course, Keanu Charles Reeves, born on September 2nd, 92 is uranium, the U, just remember that. Here's his birth card. I showed that a little bit earlier on, but look in the string of pi, how ridiculous this gets. Right here, I mean, you want to talk about completely dialed into the code here. Look at where the 35 appears in the string of pi. The 9th decimal digit, 9 and 10. But the 9, here, what's on the card? His card, 9. 9 and 10 is 19, that's a battery anyway. Chlorine also has an atomic weight of 35. Tied to his birth card. Tied to the title matrix. Tied to Neo. That's what his name was. You're bringing in something that has nothing to do with the movie, but it has everything to do with it. You can't miss this. It's all right there. The 9 in the string of pi. Pi has nothing to do with the matrix. It has everything to do with it. Numerology, alchemy, pi, math, the cards of illumination. They're all tied together, telling you man could never code this. Too many moving parts. I could have added more. So let's get into probably the longest. I'm running pretty smooth here. Let's get into the longest topic I have, probably. I just don't know. I improv all this anyway, but it's, of course, the two main characters in the movie. It was all about, this whole movie was about Neo and Trinity and being resurrected back into the Matrix again. And of course, Trinity to me stole the spotlight. It was because what I see on the world stage is the feminine rising, because it was Trinity that was taking charge. It's the female energy stepping up, taking charge in this world. The queen, not the masculine. But of course, they come together as one again. Neo and Trinity. This right here, folks, I had so much fun. This is going to blow your freaking mind. To show you, these two people right here were born in the code. They were supposed to play these characters. Before they were even born, they were supposed to play these characters. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you with clear, this is probably the most clear and convincing evidence I have ever researched. Right here, I'm about to show it to you right now. Carrie Ann Moss, born August 21st, 1967. There's the 67. Burnaby, Canada. Keanu Charles Reeves, September 2nd, 1964, Beirut, Lebanon. So what was really interesting, I'm going to come back to that, but this is the two names they go by in the movie, Neo and Trinity. And it's a 30 freaking 5. This is really important. Now, 35 is an 8. There it is. It's bromine. This element right here, bromine. And it has an atomic weight of 79. If you've been paying attention, what is 79? It's gold. It's the mirror of the I, the 53. Iodine. I am that I am. I am that I am. I'm going to be showing this quite a bit during this topic. But there it is, the 35, the mirror of the 53. They're life paths. They're freaking life paths in numerology. What your life path is when you take your total birthday and you add it up. Here's Trinity's. August 21st, 1967. So you go 8 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 7, and then Keanu Charles Reeves. And they get the 34 and 31 in numerology. You typically reduce it down. 3 plus 4 is 7. 3 plus 1 is 4. There it is. It's 74. 74 is tied to tungsten, which is illumination, tied to the sun. Even Keanu Charles Reeves get the 31. That's 3.14 going into pi. It's ridiculous, this code. They have a total of 65. And there it is again, once again, 65 with the 30. Going down, follow the white rabbit, Neo. Follow that white rabbit. Oh yeah, they following the white rabbit. All right, folks, if you think the Wachowskis were sitting down doing all this before, you got to be crazy. What goes into casting, that's a completely different topic. The amount of effort that goes in there casting people to play these right here. Here's the sine and cosine waves. Just how important this number 30 is. Some of you have been doing this. This is advanced decoding. The sine and cosine waves is the frequency that these numbers give off in the measurement of a circle, which is taught where now we get into vibrational frequencies, and the entire universe's vibration has so much value. But there it is. It's the 137. The sine wave and the cosine wave, you add them all up, total numbers, you get 137. And look at what prime number it is. Oh yeah, it's that infamous 33. 33 can be tied to Scorpio and the number 8. And then, you have the Thomas here, the 71, lutetium, and then dysprosium, meaning hard to get. If you know what you're looking for. So this is where, folks, I'm going to ask you, when do you draw the line on realizing this code, this reality that we're all living out is completely scripted? This should be ironclad proof. Let me break this all down. Here is the coordinate. I decided to look up their latitude, longitudes. I've been showing this over and over. This is not a one-hit wonder. I've shown this countless different videos. Now, you should know your latitude, longitude of when you were born and try to find some tie-ins to that. Here is Burnaby, Canada, where Carrie Ann Moss was born. 49 degrees north, 122 degrees west. And here's Beirut, Lebanon. And this guy's 33 degrees north, 35 degrees east. Keanu Charles Reeves, going into the trusty calculator, adding up the entire numbering expressions. You get the number 241.6249. You're like, oh yeah, okay, well, what's that? Well, the 241 is the frickin' 53rd prime number. Now, folks, what I'm showing you right here, how do you wrap your mind around this? From their frickin' birth cities and their latitude, longitude, they're the I am. 53 is iodine. I told you I'd be showing that. You go right back up to Neo and Trinity. There it is, the 35. There it is, the mirror of the 53, the 35. Right there. 241, 53rd prime number. I mean, are you kidding me? What are we supposed to do with this? How do you wrap your mind around what I'm showing you here? I have the am here because I'm going to get to that in just a minute. Oh, believe you me, I'm going to get to that. It's the I. It's whatever's running this reality, it comes down here and becomes us. That's what this is telling you. And it's all fractals. Their birth cards. Their birth cards is tied to the game of life. Game of life is 59. Carrie Ann Moss, August 21st, 5 clubs. Keanu Reeves, September 2nd, 9 diamonds. So August 21st, 5 clubs. Here it is, August. Go down to the 21st. There it is, the 5 clubs card. Carrie Ann Moss, and then Keanu Reeves, September 2nd, 9 diamonds. Right there. What is on those cards? The 5 and the 9. What is the game of life? 59. Now, the interesting part is, you see, Keanu was born first, 1964. Moss was 1967. So we can mirror them because there's mirrors all over the place. There was mirrors all over the Matrix Resurrections. They kept going in and out of the mirrors. So you got to mirror everything. So it's the 95. What is the 95? It's the freaking am, the I am. It's the Americium element. The clue is on the damn element itself, the abbreviation. It's the I am. I showed the I right there from their freaking latitude, longitudes. It's the 53rd prime number, 241, found from their latitude, longitudes. Do you think that the Wachowskis are choosing these people based on this stuff that I'm showing you? Come on, folks. 53 is the 241. It's I am. There it is, the 95. Their birth cards. So they got game of life, and they got the am, the I am, and they got the iodine with their birth cities on their latitude, longitude. Ridiculous scripted code. Ridiculous. What about the addition of their 2 cards? This is card 35. This is card 18. 35, get out your calculators. 35 and 18, guess what that is? 53. So you have the I am right there. You have the I am right there. These have nothing to do with alchemy, but they have everything to do with it. Everything to do with it. This code is ridiculous. What about their tarot cards? Bringing in another layer. Well, the 9 diamonds, Keanu Reeves' birth card is the 9 of Pentacles, card number 73, with using the Fool as card 22, because there are several ways to observe it. The classical lineage of the cards, it's the Fool 0 and 22, and this would be the 73rd card. And then Carrie Ann Moss has the 5 clubs. It's the 5 of Wands, 27th card in the deck. When you add 27 and 73, you're going to get the number 100. And then you bring in the show, the 100 on CW. And what is that show all about? It's the fallen angel story. Coming down into time. Off the ark, back to the earth. What do you think this story's all about? Going back down into the Matrix. Think about what I'm showing you here. 73, 27, 100. And then if you know what the 256 is, I showed that in my prison planet decode. Through all the breakdown of the Masonic stuff. So much truth there. People are blind to it because they just are so focused on, the negative stuff about it. And the 256 tied to 256 bits, it's all tied to quantum computers, which is what we live inside of, some kind of quantum computer simulation. I just don't even know at this point what to even say. We live inside of a computer, we build computers. As above, so below, we're talking fractals. Look at this ridiculous code. You want to talk about, again, when do you draw the line? So I decided to do the distance between Burnaby, Canada, and Beirut, Lebanon. Here it is. It's 6,000, the straight line right up from this way. I don't know, this is the distance between website. 6,542.69 miles. There's the yin yang after the decimal, but it's the 6,542. I'm like, I'm going to check that into pi like I always do. Look at where it appears. 1,560. But those of you, what is the 156? Forget about the 1560. There's the 156. It's tied to the 911. The 911 is the 156 prime number, folks. The 156 prime number is the 911. And these two right here in the string of pi from their birth cities across the globe here, across the world, is 1,560 in the string of pi, found from 6,542 miles. Folks, do you see how ridiculous these two were born to be these characters in this movie? They got 4 of them out now, probably going to come out with part 5. Found from their latitude. This to me, when I was doing this, I was having so much fun, but I was just enamored because, this is really deep code right here. So let's get into if you weren't blown away then, I don't know what's going to do it for you. But let's get into their alchemology. I showed the beginning of this with Grace and her alchemology, how she's tied into Alice, why she was supposed to write the song White Rabbit with Jefferson Airplane. But check this code out. You want to talk about ridiculously being dialed into the code. So Keanu Charles Reeves, here is his alchemology. All his letters matching up to the numerology outputs, matching up to the alchemical elements. And then here's Carrie Ann Moss and her representation of her alchemy, or her alchemology. Going to the trusty calculator in the dead center, and look at what you get for both of them. You get 100, and this is the reason why his name, again, Neo, did they know this? Did the Wachowskis use this methodology that I happened to discover? I don't know. I don't know anybody else that uses it. I know some decoders are using it, but I don't know. I thought I discovered it. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm not looking for any handouts, but the big question is, do other people know about this? And are they basing the characters? Are they casting these characters because they do this first? I say absolutely not. That's crazy thinking. But here it is, 143 Neodymium. What is his name in the movie? Neo. Feed the Wolf is 60. And then she's got the 44th element, ruthenium, the 99. Tetragrammaton's alchemology is 99. He was chasing her. You know what this whole story is, folks? This is what it is. It's the story in theology is the fallen angel story is that the angels wanted to, they liked the women and they decided to come down here and mate with them. This whole story was he was after his mate, Trinity, trying to get her back. The masculine chasing the feminine. That's what this whole reality is all about. It's about procreation. The masculine procreating with the feminine. The masculine chasing the feminine. So it's this entire reality. As you go into nature, you see it all over the place. Procreation, humping going on left and right, everywhere. We fall in love, we hump, we make babies, we procreate. The masculine chases the feminine. That's what this whole thing's about. And there it is, right there. There's their alchemology. Tetragrammaton, 99. I'm thinking the tetragrammaton's more female than anything else. What happened when you add those two up? Well, lo and behold, this is what happens when you add their alchemology up. You get the number 242. There it is. Once again, we get the I am. It's the am again. So folks, I mean, I showed their latitude, longitude. Now I'm showing their alchemology. I'm not even done. Wait till I show you their just straight up numerology. Completely scripted and coded. These two people were supposed to meet. They were supposed to create this movie. They were supposed to get casted. This movie was supposed to happen. Just like everything else. Everything just is in this reality. This is ridiculous code right here. And man's not coding it. Women's not coding it. Just following the blueprint. So when you just straight up look at their numerology, when I found this, I was really wowed by it. Because Keanu Charles Reeves, 67, he has this element straight up called holmium. Holmium is the most magnetic element on the entire periodic table. Think about what I'm showing you. And then Carrie Ann Moss has got the 47. She's got silver. Silver is the most electric element on the periodic table. So you have the most magnetic with Keanu Reeves, and then Moss has got the most electric. We live in a magnetic and electric world, universe. Magnetism, electricity, dielectricity. Magnetism, electricity. Folks, do you see what I'm showing you here? So let's go ahead and break a little bit more of this down. Here it is, magnetic, electric. I showed this in my Prison Planet Part 3. There it is. Magnetic and electric, both 26s. Prison and Planet, both 26s. 52. How many cards in a deck? 52. Magnetic and electric. Carrie Ann Moss, Keanu Charles Reeves. Masculine, feminine. Prison Planet. When you take holmium and silver's abbreviation right here, the AG, is the Latinized version. It's called argentum. That's why they have the AG there. So you can break it down with silver, but they have the AG there, hidden in plain sight. But here's the numerology of it. Holmium and argentum. Look at what we get, folks. Another 60. Neo. They use these to make magnets now, magnetic. And they both are 30. Think about what I'm showing you here. They are both 30. Rabbit, 30. Alice, 30. Alice in Wonderland is the Matrix. Alice in Wonderland is theology. It's the Bible. Alice in Bible is 30. Alice has like 9 ciphers directly linked to the word Bible. The fallen angel story, folks, is Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland is the Matrix. They're all tied together. When people say the Matrix is a documentary, that's exactly the truth. Think about what I'm showing you here. It's insane. When you do the alchemy of holmium and argentum, silver, you get 271.835. From Carrie Ann Moss, just straight up, not doing the alchemologist, they're straight outcomes. 271.835. What is that? Well, in the string of pi, look at where it's found, folks. At the 241st decimal digit of pi. Right there. There it is. What's 241? The frickin' 53rd prime number, going right back to the I am that I am, the iodine. Again, we just keep showing this over and over in these two people's codes. It just gets nuts. I showed this in my Dios Decoded of the soul and the ego, the separation of the spirit, the soul, and the ego that we have, primal and spirit. 271 is the 58th prime number, found from the addition of silver and holmium. So we not only have the 271 appearing at the 241st decimal digit, which is the 53rd prime number, but then we have the 271 being the 58th prime number and tied to the word puppet master. And the soul and the spirit are tied to the 47 and 67. 67 is the 19th prime number. 47 is the 15th prime number. Tied to Carrie Ann Moss and Keanu Charles Reeves, representing the spirit and the ego, representing the feminine and the masculine. Can't have one without the other. They make a unit. Procreation. This entire reality thrives off of death and regeneration, death and regeneration, death and regeneration. That's what this whole entire reality is based off of. Death and regeneration. So what about the topic sunglasses? I showed this in my Prison Planet 3 with Free Guy, and this is... Wait till I show you the folks. You know, why are all these characters wearing sunglasses? Did you notice that? Did you pick up on that? Like Free Guy, he had to wear the sunglasses to see. They Live, the sunglasses to see. Why is everybody wearing sunglasses? Well, there's a clue. 35 and 35 with these two dudes. 35 with the sunglasses, but there they are. Free Guy and They Live. Put the glasses on, you see what's you don't see. Obey. Consume. You're in a hypnotic trance. And then you put the glasses on and you get to see that you're in a game. You put the glasses on to go down into the Matrix. All the characters are wearing freaking sunglasses. And there's the clue. There's the link. Sunglasses 35, Neo and Trinity 35. And I decided to take the 35 digits into the string of pi, add them up. All right, this is another layer of decoding. So you go 3.141 and you go 35 digits in. There it is. And it's the 170. Look at the last two digits it ends with, number 88. But it's the 170. Just drop that zero. There it is. So when you enter the Matrix, you get the sunglasses. Put the sunglasses on. You can see the Matrix. Right there, you can't miss it. Come on, folks. This code is ridiculous. All scripted, pre-planned out. It's called predestination. And then when you go into the string of pi, where's the 170 appear in the string of pi? Oh, it's just the 95th decimal digit in the string of pi. And we go right back to once again, the am, the I am. So this is telling you that the sunglasses has so much to do with this code and becoming the am. The I becoming the am and becoming one. And these two characters were completely telling you that. These two characters were completely telling you that. The sunglasses have everything to do with this reality, the symbolism of them anyway, in the 35. And look at how ridiculous this code is. Amen. Are you serious? 170 appears at the 95th decimal digit, which is the am. I mean, when do you draw the line, folks? I mean, look at all this in the first one. They're all wearing sunglasses. Why? Why are they all wearing sunglasses? You'll start to notice this if you start to watch movies. A lot of people wearing sunglasses. A lot of people wearing Mr. Smith sunglasses, Bug sunglasses, Morpheus sunglasses. They're all wearing sunglasses down here in the Matrix. It's just, now you know why. Now you can see how ridiculous this code is. And so I decided to finish this last topic up. I decided to, I remembered this song from the 80s because I was born and raised in the 80s. And this guy right here, Corey Hart, big time mover of music back in the 80s. He had this song that came out called Sunglasses at Night. And I was just laughing when I found this because I pulled this up and, I always check the B-side. So if you have a song pop in your head and you want to decode it, you always want to go and decode the numerology of the song, but try to find the B-side as well because it's, two sides of the same coin. But there it is. It's Sunglasses at Night and At the Dance. Think about what I'm showing you, the B-side, At the Dance. Yeah, when you put the sunglasses on and you enter the Matrix, you end up going into the dance floor. You end up on the dance floor, which is Mother Earth. And look at what it comes out to. Freaking a 95 again. And that I am. I mean, is this guy trying to mock you? Is he trying to screw you over and pull the woolly over your eyes? You think that's what his whole agenda is? No, the guy's a freaking singer, man. That's all he wants to do is produce music. There it is, man. 90 freaking 5. And there it is with the sunglasses and the 95 and the 170 right there. 175 to the 95th decimal digit. Sunglasses is 35. I mean, folks, at what point do you realize this reality? I mean, The Matrix has nothing to do with Corey Hart. It came out in 1983. Matrix came out in 1999. I mean, this guy's not in cahoots with the Wachowski brothers to try to mock you. I mean, that's just crazy thinking. This reality is completely scripted. I mean, look at the length of it. 5 minutes and 20 seconds, 52 is Prison Planet. Come on, folks. I mean, and then when you go to the album, to finish this topic off with a bang, go to his album. It's called First Offense. Think about what I'm showing you. Like, do you get an offense? Like do you get a ticket? Do you get in trouble for coming down here? Like if you want to incarnate and become man, maybe you're one of the Elohim, maybe one of the gods, you want to come experience life. Is it offense to do that? Well, I mean, look at what you get. It's the 50 freaking 9, which is the game of life. Is it off limits to come down here, but the angels do it anyway? Is that what we're being told right here? I just thought this was hilarious. And look at when this album came out. Come on. The 11/11 date? Seriously? First Offense? At what point do you draw the line, folks? And the 59 is the mirror of the 95. Come on, really? Really? At what point do you draw the line? And of course, January 21st, when this came out, 21 is the world card in the tarot telling you to go down in the hole. Folks, this is ridiculous. This is music talking to you, telling you how this reality works. It's just hilarious. This whole code, man. And oh God, just so funny. So to finish this topic off, this is exactly what's happening here. We come down here to play the game of life, and that's the 59. 59 is not just any number, it's the frickin' 17th prime number. And look at these big major nouns on the world stage using just the Chaldean to match that 17. It's the ancient Israelite God of the Bible, the Yod He Vah He. What is this telling us? It's the Yod coming down here and becoming man, becoming life, getting involved in the matrix, and we are all fish. That's why the Truman Show, he was afraid of water. That's aquaphobia. We're all the goldfish. The goldfish. Gold is 17, fish is 17. We're two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl year after year. And when you get the sunglasses on, it appears you know exactly maybe what to see at this point. I just thought this was so freaking hilarious, man. This is probably the funniest thing I've ever found in my decoding, is this Corey Hart song, Sunglasses at Night. I was listening to the song as I was decoding it just to get into the rhythm, and I'm just laughing. And I could have went deeper, but come on, folks. Sunglasses. It's just hilarious. And at night, what does night mean? Darkness. So, perhaps leaving the heavenly realms, which is all light, and coming down into the darkness, and sunglasses at night. It's just, oh man, go read the lyrics of this song. It's just hilarious. So that's the finalized aspect. That's what I have for this decode. I think some of you maybe thought I was going to break down. I could have broken down the psychiatrist, the Doogie Howser, and the new Mr. Smith, and he's got the 10 clubs card, the 23rd card of the deck. I could have went gangbusters with that, folks, but I just thought this was enough to show you. The main point of breaking this stuff down is to show you that these people creating these movies are being used to create the movies. These people are being used to make music. These people are being used to make movies and play out their characters. As above, so below. And it appears you got to wear the sunglasses to see anything. I don't know. I think I'm going to start wearing my sunglasses more. But anyway, folks, would love to hear what you saw during this presentation. But that's all I got for today. My name is Logan. This is Decode Your Reality. I thank each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later.